I truly hate giving these white supremacists any type of airtime, but this guy here is really getting on my nerves, this Charlie Kirk dude. So I have to give him a clap back for this video he posted.
Black people are allowed to talk about black culture in a way that white culture cannot. For example, black people can go up and say that there's a baby mama problem in black America, and white people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did. So what are you going to do, cancel me? Black people are much easier to be able to say that black individuals, despite being 13% of the American population, commit 55% of the murders. Most white people say that at a job, they would get fired for being a racist. I don't care because I say whatever I want.
Oh, bless your little colonizer heart. You really climbed on the internet and opened your pale mouth and decided to rewrite history in real time like the rest of us haven't been wide awake. The audacity to claim Black people have more intellectual freedom while simultaneously gaslighting the entire globe into believing your fragility is under attack. Now that's rich. Irony is so thick, and it might as well pay for reparations. But I'm going to reveal the lie and hypocrisy behind the Olympics that you just won the new gold medalist for. You say Black people can talk about Black issues, but white people can't. Well, sweetheart, when y'all own CNN, Fox, Time Magazine, Hollywood, Disney, and the banks, and every Ivy League endowment, maybe, just maybe, you can sit out for just one conversation. And while you're pretending to be gagged, your people are in every boardroom, courtroom, war room, media room, pushing propaganda like it's your birthright. If you're so silent, how come the world speaks your language, worships your whiteness, and mimics your mediocrity in music, fashion, and culture? But I'm going to drop those receipts, the historical Holocaust y'all don't want us to talk about. Let's get into these statistics, since you love to throw out Black crime rates around like white folks aren't the original terrorists. Let's talk about genocide. 100+ million indigenous people murdered globally via colonization. And how about slavery? Over 12 million Africans stolen, tortured, sold as properties, built your banks, White House, legacy wealth. And what about these serial killers? Oh, you don't want to talk about that, because statistically, over 76% of serial killers are in the U.S. are white. And how about school shooters? Yeah, those white boys, it's about 90% of them were school shooters, right? Oh, and let's not forget global extinction. Yeah, nearly every animal now endangered or extinct, white-led colonizers hunted for sport, fashion, and science. Yeah. And what about environmental destruction? You bulldozed the whole rainforests of this world, dumped oil in oceans, and then said climate change like it was a mystery. And let's not forget, you poisoned your own Europeans during the bubonic plague because y'all didn't believe in using soap. So before you speak on crime statistics, check the colonial body count. Yeah, I want to talk about this irony, though. You all want to parent us now? You want to talk to us and talk down to us? You say Black folks need to get their act together? Sir, y'all are the original baby's daddies, raping our women, selling our families, and now you're confused about single mothers? Your wives were sipping tea while your children suckled on the breast of Black nannies. Did you forget? That's the origin of your wet nurse economy. You stole our families and then had the nerve to blame us for the fracture. That's like robbing a man and breaking his legs and then calling him lazy for limping. And don't come for our music, our art, and our soul. You manufactured the whole hedonism and handed the record deals to those willing to sell their souls for the culture you corrupted. Yeah, you say our rappers don't challenge the rot? You own the labels, genius. But I'm going to connect those dots from the plantation to the Pentagon, baby. See, it wasn't just slavery. It was the war on drugs, the FBI's COINTELPRO, the Tuskegee experiment, redlining, predatory loans, prison labor, Black Wall Street bombings, and forced sterilization. Oh, did you forget that? You all orchestrated the problem, blamed the victim, and then handed out band-aids and made that BS, okay? Even your DEI talking points are laughable. White women are the primary beneficiaries of affirmative actions. Did you hear that right? You parade black faces for photo shoots, the poster child, while your HR departments remain whiter than sour cream. We see it. But here's the uncomfortable truth, sweetie. We are the blueprint, not the afterthought. We are not just black. We are the descendants of the tribe of Judah, the royal priesthood you've tried to erase. And you know this, which is why your scientists study our DNA, your historians bury our truth, and your politicians silences our speech. You envy our melanin, our rhythm, our brilliance. So you commodify, crucify, and then cosplay it on TikTok. But guess what? You can't colonize the spirit, baby. Here's the inevitable reckoning truth, and the truth don't die, it rises. So here we are, sifting through your smoke screens, unearthing your stolen stories, and refusing to play nice with lies. You're not silenced, so stop it. You're sobered, and that sobering truth is this. You can't cancel us when we are the original signal, the source of the frequency, the soil from which God made humanity. You call us victims, but we are the verdict, and the jury is back. Your father is the father of all lies, but our father, he is the truth that exposes every single one. I need you to kindly exit stage left because your time on the mic is up.
Salute, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Simple Shit TV. I'm your host, Alvin Holden, also known as Project 8020, here with my brother, Broken Blade. What's up, sir? How are you doing?
What's up, man? I'm good.
Good. I'm going to try to keep it quick and concise and to the point today, if I can help it. I'm going to try not to get long-winded. If I can help it. How are you doing this fine? How was your weekend?
It was good. Still looking into some of the info you gave me yesterday. It's a lot to unpack.
Is a deep rabbit hole. Deep rabbit hole. We just to put it in perspective for some of you guys, you know, Broken Blade and I had I went down a rabbit hole this weekend, and you know, when you just you start kind of peeling back the onion and then putting the dots together and things start making sense, and then you know, it really starts to give you pause a little bit. Remember that number that we talked about, that 500 million? I can give you two more examples of where that comes up, and you would be shocked to know who and where they are. Justin Bieber. He was in debt. He had allegedly made somewhere between 500 million and $1 billion, and he's broke, but he had the money at one point. I mean, he spent it all. It got stolen, whatever. Either way, that number keeps popping up. 475 million, 480 million. Like, that number keeps popping up. And I'm like, why does this number keep popping? It's a big number. I'm like, is that like the cost to play? Is that what you got to pay to play? Is that what it is? You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe the price of escape velocity.
You know, I don't know. Anyways, shout out to everybody in the chat, bro. What's up, Cody Marshall? How you doing? Slim Shaby, how you doing, bro? What's up? And everybody else, man. If you catch us on the replay, salute to you. I wanted to play that young lady, because she was cooking. That was a really long video. She was 6 minutes. She was cooking. She was just straight cooking. So I had to get into that. But before I go super deep into it, Broken Blade, I want to play this clip because I got a question for you. I'm going to ask you after this. Let's let this rock.
All showed up, all these white folks that we Let me tell you something.
Okay, so there was a George Floyd. It's like what 5-year anniversary. I don't even understand why they got it. You know how I feel about George Floyd. Either way, 5 years is a big deal. I think the family was giving some money away, and they went back to the neighborhood that got destroyed, and they gave away some money, $50,000. And this is the auntie, I believe, or one of the family members. So let's hear what she has to say.
Let me tell you something. When they gave away the $50,000 that your family was handing out to the businesses to help them, you know how many people were up there that wasn't even from this area? There was 72 people up there trying to take that money from all the businesses. We didn't get a dime. None of us got a damn dime of that money to help us. Did you know that? Oh my God. Y'all didn't even know that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
They wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know that.
We know that because I was there when it happened. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I was in the room when they all showed up, all these white folks that we've never even seen over here, asking for the money that your family was putting down for these businesses. They took that money from us. We never got a dime. We never got help. Let me tell you something.
Broken Blade, what's your initial reaction to that?
Vexed but not surprised.
Same.
Hey, ongoing narrative, we're lazy. It's our reason we're forever stuck in poverty. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You start making moves. And it's just a small example of that.
I get it now. I get it. It's some rules for thee and not for me. And, you know, they're going to come in and slide in and strip those resources. I'm understanding it now. It's resources, bit by bit, dime by dime, nickel by nickel, quarter by quarter. They're just going to suck the resources out of the, you know, they're going to ding you with fees and taxes and rules, and they're going to make you jump through hoops, and they're going to suck up a day of work, and they're just going to keep going until there's nothing left. I get it now. I understand now. I'm moving completely different now that I understand how the game is really played now. And I understand that these people really want us up out of here, like below ground, want us up out of here. They really do. And I'm just moving accordingly. Also, once again, if you're a black woman with a blonde wig, I believe you got brain damage. And you hate yourself. You have brain damage and you hate yourself. Black woman with blonde wig, clearly didn't grow out of your head. You hate yourself. You can quote me on that. I'll die on that hill. I believe you got brain damage, and I believe you hate yourself. That is the only reason why I would believe a black woman would put a blonde wig on her head. And I don't really care who I offend either. I really don't. If you got a blonde wig on, guess what? I'm talking to you. I'm talking directly to you. If you have a blonde wig on, let's let this rock.
When they gave away the $50,000 that your family was handing out to the businesses to help them, you know how many people were up there that wasn't even from this area? There was 72 people up there trying to take that money from all the businesses. We didn't get a dime. None of us got a damn dime of that money to help us. Did you know that? Oh my God. Y'all didn't even know that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
They wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know that.
We know that because I was there.
Why wouldn't you just walk directly to the businesses that were there and just cut them a check and donate it? That's it. But see, that's the trick though. See, that's the trick they make us jump through so that they can snatch the money out from under us instead of us giving it directly. Broken Blade, remember I was telling you, I was like, bro, if I wanted to give you money, I can't give you money. The only way I can give you money is I walk and hand you cash. Any other transaction, they take a piece. Any transaction, they take a piece. And they have record of the transaction. So This is whack. This is whack. Anywho. Oh man. I don't like reliving that moment over and over and over again. I did want to show this, man. This is pretty cool. This is pretty dope. Tuskegee Airmen. Harlem Hellfighters. Shout out to these brothers, man. And bro, I don't know if you've ever been up in a small plane. Have you ever been up in a small plane?
No.
My guy, let me tell you something. I've been in one of them like Cubs size, like single prop deals. A couple of things. I want you to imagine a Volkswagen Bug with wings. That's what it felt like on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Where like air's coming in through the window and like you're looking at the rivets and there's like some paint chipping off and if you hit it, it's like boom, boom, boom. Yeah, like that. Like that is, and it was well taken care of. It was all up to date and everything was all lubed up. It was ready to go. It was ready to fly, but it was still a Volkswagen Bug, right? Yeah. And the tools, the gauges that he had, there was all the old gauges had been torn out, and he had digital stuff. So there was digital stuff, but the holes where the old gauges were gone. They were the holes that were still there.
Yeah.
In the dash. So, you know, it still looked old and sounded and felt old. And then you take it off in this thing and you're kind of like, this doesn't feel like it should be flying. This does not feel like I should be in the air. Like I'm not freaking out because my pilot, the guy that took me up, he's comfortable and he's not freaking out. So I'm not freaking out.
Yeah.
However, in the back of my head, I'm like, I would never do this bullshit. Never. Now, let's take this time all the way back to the 1940s.
Yeah.
I mean, the size of the cojones on these guys. Because like, I don't think we ever got higher than like 3,000 feet, bro. We stayed under 3,000 feet. And even that was like, we didn't even get up that high that often. We were mostly around 2,000, 1,500 to 2,500 feet is where we spent most of our time. Is like in this plane. We're just tooling around the Bay Area. Over the Golden Gate Bridge. Right?
My sister had a spirit. I forgot where they were flying to, but they landed in they had to land in Colorado on one of those small planes. Not quite like a two-person, but like a sounds like a personal plane.
Uh-huh. Like one of these.
Apparently, like Colorado was like notorious, like turbulence, like landing and taking off. Like she had a pretty rough time.
Yeah, it's just windy up there.
Yeah,
it's just windy, so those planes just kind of get tossed around quite a bit, and it's also like you're moving so slow that it's like it's pretty agile, meaning like you're not going at 500 miles per hour. Like you really are floating around at like 60, 70, 80 miles per hour, bro, 100 miles per hour. It's not that fast. Yeah. Like it's not that fast. There was a couple times where he kind of like was like kind of stalling out. I was trying to get a picture and he was kind of like stalling out, going slow. And it almost felt like we had stopped in the air. Like these like little bitty planes can do that. And like the way the controls work, since it's so small, it can kind of pivot on itself. Right. So like you're in one direction, you kind of, you kind of think of it like this, right? But if you want to make some really fine adjustments, it can like turn, which is a really creepy feeling because you're moving forward and then the plane just kind of does one of these numbers and you're like, yo, what is that? Hold on a second. What is going on? It's just a crazy sensation. Anyways, I told one of my business partners, I told him I went up in the plane and he was pissed. He was so mad at me. He was like, "Don't you ever go up in one of those fucking planes again." He was like, "Man, you mess around and die, I'm gonna have to buy a new trainer." We have to get a new trainer. I was like, "Damn, you're right." But check this out. Karen got a little too close to Bambi, and Bambi had a problem with it. Hold on. Where's it at? Hold on. You know what? We can do this. We can do this for Bambi. Shout out to Bambi. Bambi was
to fight back.
Getting busy, boy. Getting busy. Hey, that's what happens when you got the kiddos around. I think the kiddos were around, and that deer was like, she wasn't having it. Mom's was not having it. Ooh.
The speed out in the woods. Roll.
Yo, just for all the ladies that said that they would rather the bear, y'all can't even handle a deer. Y'all can't even handle Bambi, okay? Can't handle Bambi. That's it. Harvard business professor stripped of tenure, fired for manipulating data in studies on dishonesty.
The irony. Oh boy.
Oh, Harvard. Come on, Harvard. They're really hurting right now too. Well, not really, but they're under the gun. They're under the gun right now. They're under the gun. Some Chevy said Karen ran off on Bambi plug about a week ago. Hey, that's gotta get that get back. Bambi was like, you think you want to run off? Bambi was like, it's on site.
On site.
It's on site. So Broken Blade. Broken Blade. This whole Joe Biden thing. I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit agitated about it. About the fact that, he was as sick as he was and nobody kind of fessed up to it.
Right.
And to hear them tell it, they would have signed us up for another 4 years of this mess. Right? And all of a sudden now it just come out, okay, he's got prostate cancer now. Oh, wait, it's already stage 4 prostate cancer. Meaning they most likely knew when he ran the last time. Because to get all the way to stage 4, where he is, allegedly, it takes somewhere between 5 to 10 years.
Huh.
So if it took 5 to 10 years to get to the stage 4 that it is, allegedly, then either they didn't do any prostate exams before his last presidency and all for the 4 years that he was president, or they did and they lied about it.
Right.
Not to mention the cognitive decline, which everybody noticed. And people got chased off the internet for simply asking the question, hey, is he okay? He's looking old. He fell a couple times. Do you guys need to help him walk around like that all the time?
We put Grandpa in a home when he started looking like this.
Right?
Just saying.
Wait a second. You guys aren't feeding him any solid food anymore? when did that happen? You know what I'm saying? So
he's in charge of the button.
In charge of the button. Yeah. Yeah, he's okay to do his job, really. Sure he is. Sure. So Broken Blade, I wasn't really watching Piers Morgan. But I did want to hear what this moron had to say because he wrote a book. And Broken Blade, you know what he wrote a book about?
Well, what?
How everybody covered up Biden's sick cognitive decline. I mean, the nerve of this guy. The nerve of this guy. Between this and the beer bug, I don't even think they should allow this guy to be on TV anymore. Him, Chris Cuomo, all those CNN people, I don't believe they should let them on TV anymore. But they did do this throwback clip. And in true Piers Morgan fashion, he was asked what he had to say about it. And of course, his answer was not satisfactory for me, but maybe it'll be satisfactory for you. So let's first look at this clip. This is a flashback of how he was responding when people were questioning Joe Biden's cognitive abilities.
How do you think it makes little kids with stutters feel when they see you make a comment like that?
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable
You are
to
no
watch somebody on stage
it's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
But when you're trying to tell me that what
and he's interrupting her too, which is also really rude. I digress.
I was suggesting was
I think that you were
stuttering.
mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think.
So, Jake, I'm going to put my
Broken Blade. Would that be considered gaslighting?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's gaslighting. Gotcha. Yeah, it's gaslighting. When you know something's up and they know that something's up, but you pretend that it's something else to make them seem crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was gaslighting on national television. He was gaslighting Laura Trump on national television. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure, right? Because I don't know, that just seems kind of out of pocket for me. Like if you do something like that to me as a professional, like I don't know, you should be held to a higher standard.
Yes.
You should be held to a higher standard. But Piers is going to tap dance for a little while, and then he's going to serve up. He's going to tap dance a little bit, and then he's going to serve up. I don't want to say a softball question. I mean, it should be easy to answer, but let's just see.
David Frost hat on here, being a British broadcaster, and following the Watergate theme. You may remember it took David 30 hours or just under 30 hours of interrogation before he got the famous apology to the American people out of Richard Nixon. And my question for you would be this. I know you apologized, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, to Lara Trump, that you've contacted her since and apologized to her. Do you feel, Alex, I saw your speech at the White House Correspondent Center, which I thought was very powerful and very sort of mea culpa, even though you were one of the least people that people have been blaming, actually. But Jake, in your case, do you feel that you owe the American people an apology for slightly dropping the ball with this and not just to Lara Trump?
I feel like I owe the American people an acknowledgement that I wish I had covered the story better. That knowing what we know now and looking back on that interview, which I feel tremendous humility about, she was right and I was wrong. I did not see in the moments he was having, I did not see that as cognitive decline. She did. Our reporting suggests that she was correct. So I feel humility. I've apologized to her. And I feel like, and I think this is something, quite frankly, that other journalists should think about when it comes to other
I can't help it, bro. What a liar. I'm so sorry, dog. What a liar.
Yeah.
You're a liar. And then he's trying to put it on everybody else too. Yo, this is so whack to me. But I think I wanted us to see this because this person is talking like this and he's looking directly into the camera. Like, no, I don't owe you an apology. Let me put it on somebody else.
Right, and I was wrong. I did not see in the moments he was having, I did not see that as cognitive decline. She did. Our reporting suggests that she was correct. So I feel humility. I've apologized to her. And I feel like, and I think this is something, quite frankly, that other journalists should think about when it comes to other mistakes, because I'm surely not the only American journalist that wishes he or she had covered this better. In legacy media, I should point out, conservative media was on this from the very beginning. And that is, I will try to do better. And that I mean, I could roll a bunch of clips of me asking about this issue. And in 2020, I asked President Biden, then Vice President Biden, will you pledge to be transparent about your health? And he said yes, although he was not. And I only got one interview with him as president in 2022. And I asked him about the American people think you're too old. Whenever you're confronted with that, you say, watch me. The American people are watching you. They still think you're too old. So it's not like I was ignoring it. And it's not like I was part of the effort to hide this. But in retrospect, of course, I wish my coverage had been better on the subject. And I think while I recognize to a degree I'm the avatar.
He didn't ask you that, fool. He asked you if you owe the American people an apology for lying. That's it. Like, you're lying. You were lying. You were not telling the truth. And we can look at you and tell that you knew that you were not telling the truth. Right? Like he interrupted, he talked over, he insulted, he shamed, he did all of the things just in that one little bitty clip. Just in that one little bitty clip. I don't know, Broken Blade, what do you think? Like, does your trust, like, do you look at this person now and say, you know what? I could trust this guy. Do you look at this guy and say, you know what? Like, I want to hear news from him. I want his opinion. I want him to inform me of the really intelligent, like, you know, every once in a while, there's going to be a really important decision that I have to make. And I want to know, I want to look to him. I think I can look to him to give me the information I need to make a sound decision for me and my family. Like, if this guy says that the world is going to end tomorrow, I'm going to believe it. Do you believe this guy, Broken Blade?
Fuck no.
Oh man. What do you, I mean,
sociopathic. Looks like there's something dead in his psyche or soul. That dead stare he's giving the camera.
It's so weird. It's like, how do you defend that? Right? And then you go and you sell a book.
Yeah.
And try to profit off of it. The nerve of you.
So you're willing to tell the truth. You're willing to uphold journalistic integrity. You're willing to do actual research and present evidence of your findings for a price.
I hope his book flops. Let's let him continue to gaslight the American people.
Power of American legacy journalism right now when it comes to this story. I think in order to regain trust, that there is something that we can do when we fall short, and I'm acknowledging it.
I completely agree.
If I can just add one thing, and maybe potentially embarrass Jake, is that, first of all, this book was Jake's idea, and it was...
So I think this other guy helped him write it, or I'm not exactly sure what the relationship 100% is, but I don't think he was helping Jake out with that one. I don't think.
His idea basically the day before the election. And also, when you're on a beat, the people that are suck-ups, the people that are lazy, the people that are tough. And like, while Jake is acknowledging that he fell short on this part of the Biden story, like I know that Jake did not carry water for the Biden people. I covered the Biden White House every day for 4 years. I know the reporters they like, the reporters they don't like. Jake was not on their Christmas card list. So I would just say, that's the reason why I was like,
I'm sorry, bro. We don't believe you. I'm not. I'm looking for truth in those. I'm looking for truth in those eyes. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing any truth in those eyes. I'm just not. Yeah. No.
like enthusiastic when he had the idea for the book. That's the reason why I said yes.
Well, listen, I've made my feelings clear to you, Jake. I think you've actually been very honest about this, as have you, Alex. And I really enjoyed the book. Just one final question that struck me, Jake. It strikes me that Biden couldn't have got away with this in my country, in the UK. One of the reasons being that every week in Parliament, the Prime Minister, at the very minimum, has to get up for half an hour, 30 minutes of interrogation in front of the world. You couldn't hide like this in the UK system. As you finished your book, you guys, did you reach any conclusion about how the system could get tweaked in America to avoid this happening again?
First, I mean, you are right. And as much as I'm an America lover, there is.
As much as I'm an American lover.
You don't give a damn about this country. Like,
it doesn't even sound like that when you really care about the country. It doesn't even sound like that. It wouldn't even come out like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that came out like you didn't believe it. Like it really did. Like no one would ever say it that way. I say all the time, I'm American. I love my country. I say it all the time. I've never said it like that. Hold on.
You are right. And as much as I'm an America lover, there is no way that
that's weird. No one that actually loves America would say it that way.
You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
Shout out to Dr. Umar. Oh, man. Because in Slim Shady, Piers looks tickled because he knows that he gets to sit up there and give Jake Tapper the business. Because Piers has already been through this. He's going through it with the Middle East right now. Piers is. He flip-flopped. Like, because all these guys they're flip-flopping because they're taking a side. Whether they're being paid to take a side or not, they are taking sides. And not only that, but they're insulting people that are on the other side. They're degrading people that are on the other side. They're actively being used as weapons of one side against the other. So look, that's fine. But just understand when the truth comes out, you're going to have to sit there, at least if you want to continue to be on television, you're going to have to sit there and people are going to ask you what the hell you meant. They're going to be like, run the tape. When you said that, what did you mean when you said that? And you're going to have to just sit there and take it. Otherwise, you can't be on TV anymore. That's wild. That's wild. It just trips me out that they let this go so far.
Prime Minister in the UK or really anywhere in New Zealand, or I mean, there's no way this could happen because of not only Question Time on Sundays, but also because you don't have the incredibly strong executive mold that we have in the United States.
What the hell does that mean? We don't have the executive mold. Okay.
Your parties are stronger. Your parliament is.
Their parties are stronger. Their parliament is stronger. I don't know. I think maybe does that sound like an American, pro-American, American government type of gentleman? Okay.
Stronger than we have in the United States. And while, this is the system we have, it also means that if Keir Starmer were to show evidence of cognitive decline, whoever's his number two would be right there saying something's going on with Keir Starmer, and like the party would step in and force him to step down. No offense to Prime Minister Starmer. I'm just using it as an example. But there's no way it would happen. We need to do something in the United States. I don't think you could do anything and pass any law that would affect the current president. That's just not how our legislature works. But our personal view, Alex and myself, is that the health requirements and disclosures should be mandated by law and have to be presented under threat of perjury by the White House physician. Not just summaries of health records, but all the health records. This is the most powerful position in the world, elected position, and the public has every right to know what's.
He wouldn't have been willing to do that mess. He would have been willing to do that mess when Biden was in. It's only now that Biden is gone. Thank you so much, Slim Sabi. He said he capping. He said the UK is a shot show full of immigrants, bad teeth, rain, and a laundry list of lost wars. Bro, big time. 110%. Anyway, I don't know, bro. This kind of just got under my skin a little bit. Broken Blade. You know? It got under my skin a little bit, and I just remember kind of like the clip that we played earlier, and like the ones from, at the beginning of the beer bug when they were like shaming people into taking the poke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, like someone should be able to ask a question or two. You know what I mean? Like someone should be able to be like, I'm gonna let all y'all take it for a minute. I'm gonna sit on this and then I'm gonna see how y'all react before I feel like I'm gonna put it into me and or my family. And they shamed so many people.
Yeah.
Like that's why that Cuomo guy and Don Lemon and this moron, I don't want to use that homonyms. This person, I can't even listen to him speak because all I can hear is how ugly they were to other people on their shows on live television. I'm like, hey, bro, like if you act like that, or if you do that, you shouldn't be able to get back in front of a camera. Not one of the major networks. If you want to sit in your basement and do and pull a show off, more power to you. Because what's happening is these guys, where they don't have writers and stages and lights, they're having a hard time dealing. Don Lemon, he looks real uncomfortable. Cuomo, when he was in his basement, looked real uncomfortable. They have a hard time sitting in one place, having these conversations and trying not to screw themselves. Apparently, whoever their writers are have been thinking for them too. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of it. Anyway, before I change gears, any thoughts, bro? Like on whether or not Jake Tapper has done a good enough job of explaining himself? Like, are you satisfied with his answer?
Absolutely not.
Oh shit!
If he had any integrity whatsoever, he would get out of the press game.
Okay, so you ain't trying to hear nothing he has to say at all.
No.
I'm with that. I'm in that bucket. I was going to give him a little bit of, leeway, but nah, man. I think he could go on ahead and sit all the way down. Say it. Oh, you froze. Go ahead. Sorry, you're back now.
Most screw ups can be righted with a genuine apology. He refused to even do that. So,
right? Like you need at least that.
Yeah.
Like you can't even start. In fact, I truly believe that that's why we can't get away from the slavery thing here in this country, because they don't want to admit to it for real. Like they don't want to give a real, my bad. All right. Yeah. I was wrong. And we were stealing from y'all. Okay. All right. My bad. Let's make it right.
Tris O'Neill. Talk about, he got to discussion on the radio show talking about, black anger or whatever. And we broke it down to was like you said, the lack of justice. Because during World War II, the small hats, they have something they can connect the evil to. They have the small mustache, which to this day, like, you consider an asshole. You try to rock that. The symbol of the tilted cross. And to this day, they find out you were one of the original officers as a death sentence. Only thing we really have here is this white skin color.
Yeah. And so many people can say, oh, well, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Wasn't my family. I didn't do it. So why should I pay? Why should I have to pay for whatever? And and unfortunately, you have to let a lot of these people let them know that, hey, it doesn't matter. That debt carries over, stupid. Like, that debt carries over. It doesn't go anywhere. As much as you want to admit you don't. And here's the thing too. I was thinking about this because sure. Yeah, you don't have to pay. You don't have to. You don't have to. For real. You don't. But what'll happen is eventually someone, something, somehow is going to come a calling. Now, it might be the same group of people. It might be another group of people in the name of. It could be, inside out. Like, eventually something will get done. Like, it'll get righted one way or the other. It could be after, it could be the crashing or the end of the United States of America. And that could be when it is. I don't know. But what I do know is that eventually that shit comes out. Like, eventually all that information. And that's why I think everybody is tripping right now. Because, boy, AI is tearing these people up, boy. That's why I think they're out here splaining. A lot of people out here splaining, Broken Blade. They out here splaining. The mathematicians and science and physicists is out here splaining, big time splaining, because they can't hide all this information forever. Eventually, some of this stuff is going to come out, and people have gotten injured, hurt. There's lawsuits. This is really they got to be ready. Yo. So, well, because they think anybody that's not them is this on the screen. Anybody that's not them is this. And this is evil, the devil, Satan, the enemy, all of the above. And none of the rules count for you if you're this. Amalek. Anything goes. I can.
And biblically, the Amalekites were the ones that attacked the Israelites in a vulnerable position. And God promised to wipe them off the face of the earth in retaliation.
That's how they see everybody. Everybody that's not them. Most of them really believe that. I just watched a video of a young lady that was one of those people that is in the East Bank and the West Bank causing all sorts of drama.
Yeah.
And she said it with her whole chest. Like, women, children, kids, like, they don't matter. They're all the same. Like, chitty chitty bang bang is what she said. Anyway, Broken Blade. I never thought I would really say this. Ray J was making sense talking to Piers Morgan. He was out here defending Diddy. And I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. It was good to hear everybody has been wanting to throw rocks. It's good that somebody got up and started speaking for him. But I'm gonna let him rock, because I want to be able to. I want this message to get out. I want this not to be the only place that hears this. Let's let this rock. Fair use.
For several weeks. What is your view of how this case is going?
I think it's kind of becoming a circus, and with all the allegations, and now with everybody explaining like what's happening in the bedroom. I mean, every day it just sounds crazier and crazier and freakier and weirder, right? And I'm like trying to understand, with all this being said, like with Kid Cudi going on and saying everything that happened, but then ended up saying Cassie played both of us. You know, it's like, where are we trying to go? Are we just trying to like tell all of these crazy stories and then that equals out to sex trafficking? I mean, it's starting to become outrageous. It's a RICO case. It's really only Diddy and maybe one other person. Like, I'm just starting to feel uncomfortable, and I'm starting to feel weird about this whole thing.
Well, it was.
Shout out to Cody Marshall. Who the hell wants to listen to Ja Rule at a time like this? Looks we've got Ja Rule on the line. Shout out to Cody. Hey, that's classic. That was such a timeless joke. Well, maybe it won't be timeless. We'll always understand it. Our kids will never understand it, but we'll understand it.
Certainly interesting last week when I interviewed this guy who had the pseudonym The Punisher, who was hired, and it was Cassie Ventura. Right. So it was a sort of very interesting interview because Cassie Ventura did all the negotiating, did all the payments, and did all the texting to him.
Wait, what? Cassie did all the what?
Who was hired, and it was Cassie Ventura. Right. So it was a sort of very interesting interview because Cassie Ventura did all the negotiating, did all the payments, and did all the texting to him.
Okay.
Diddy would sit in the corner of a hotel room naked, and he would watch with her.
Broken Blade. Is him describing this thing right here? Is there any reason why he would describe this without just trying to embarrass Diddy?
Other to further shock the audience that has not been paying attention.
Gotcha. Malicious intent.
Absolutely.
Her apparent full consent, this guy come in and have sex with her, and it happened maybe a dozen times over a 2.5 year period. Now, none of that says to me that that is a serious crime. If she is the one that is organizing it all. Now, she is arguing it was coercion and so on. You know all these people very well. You know Cassie Ventura. You know Diddy well. When you saw that interview, maybe you saw the one that I did, but when you saw that guy talk, what was your takeaway from that?
I was just thinking, like, what year are we in? Like, it feels like we're in this vortex of like this dominatrix story about all of these different characters that are coming out and the names and the nicknames. And I mean, it's intense. I think that it's entertaining for sure. And it's definitely press worthy. But at the end of it all, it's like, this is what Diddy is being charged for. And this is what he possibly might serve a lot of jail time for. I don't understand it. And I really want to know where this is all going to go and where does this lead? Because again, it's weird. It's freaky. Like the whole oral thing with the 19 guys and the blisters. I mean, it feels like they're just.
Did you say 19 guys? Damn. I heard she had blisters in her mouth that wouldn't heal from sucking all that dick.
Not surprised.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
That's nasty. Like how much D you gotta suck to put some sores in your mouth? Yikes. Yikes. Ugh. I mean, Jesus. Does the pH in your mouth get messed up? What is happening, bro? What is going on, dog? Anyway, that's this foul.
Just trying to paint these pictures of Diddy. And I was around Diddy all the way pretty much up until the arrest. And all I got from that when I hung out with Diddy, and this is word to my mom and kids. He's always inspired me to be great. When I left, I felt like I could do more for my business. I felt like I had more power because I wanted to be more vocal in running my companies and call my wife if we were getting into it and send her flowers. I mean, these are all the things he was instilling to me and all of the young guys around that were inspired and look at him as a mentor. So now these private things that happen when we were around and never even got a chance to see this kind of crazy stuff, it just sounds like this was a private, personal thing that was happening, and now it's starting to become it's diabolical. I mean, if that's the right word, it's chilling and it's scary for a lot of people out there in this business like us who are trying to walk the right path and connect with the right people when there's things that you do when you make bad mistakes. But this is like an overflow of just complete negativity.
Shout out to Slim Shady. He said they were smashing the sonic rings out of that pretty lady. Dang. I don't know. Do you think she was like kind of pretending and like acting all, you know what I'm saying? Like she was like in a porno, or do you think she was like, and it was like a performance, or do you think she was just like flat out getting busy? Like, I'm just trying to get this nut off.
Probably the latter, man.
Think so?
All those other dudes, like, she had to be just about that D life, bro.
She must have been a wild gal. Wild gal. Wild gal. You know what I'm saying? You know, urinary tract infections and like sores on the inside of her mouth that wouldn't heal, and like
walking petri dish.
Yeah, that's nasty, bro. Nasty work. Nasty work. She was a professional rat. Yo, that's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, by her own admission, by the way, by her own admission. And, you know, and I hate to say it, man, but that other crazy mess that they were talking about where he was saying he rubbed the stuff on his body is crazy, dog. Like, that's wild. Yeah. But you know what? So I read a story this morning that spoke about how much baby oil there really was. And allegedly there was no 1,000 bottles of baby oil. It was like a few bottles, maybe like a small case, but there wasn't any whatever. Black Twitter and or somebody that was trying to clown this fool, it came from them. There was never 1,000 bottles of baby oil, allegedly. So there's that. I don't know, man. I mean, it's still not, there hasn't been any racketeering, very little racketeering testimony. And I mean, and that would mean that you would have to be working in concert with other people, but he's the only person that's got charges. So it's going to be
with trafficking, you would assume.
Well, and then with trafficking, bro, trafficking is if you organize transportation between you and these other people, that's all it takes. Oh. All you have to do is facilitate the travel. If you purchase the ticket, if you they fly on your plane, if they ride in your bus, if you pay for the Uber, if you are responsible for getting them from point A to point B, then you can be liable for trafficking. So yeah. Essentially, anytime he moved anybody around. Now, the way that he would probably be able to get out of it is like, I don't freaking book no planes for nobody. She does that, and my assistants do that. So technically, I didn't even know if they would be able to put him on the actual transaction outside of like where the money came from. And then again, you have to ask the question, well, if we're talking to Rico and he's the boss, but everybody else made the transactions, you can't leave out the people that made the transactions. So, you know, it is what it is. But shout out to Ray J, man, for at least trying to stand up and say something, at least try to keep it level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just try to keep it level, and so that everyone's not piling on, because this whole piling on thing is not the look. It's not the biz. It's not the biz at all. But anyway, I only had one other story I wanted to cover, Broken Blade. And this one is kind of interesting because, you know, we get all these conversations about, oh, you know, why can't black folks get it together? And why don't they have good businesses? And they don't support each other, and they don't do this and they don't do that. And they always got a way to tell us what we don't do. But here is an example of how the police department can influence a business even though they're not technically influencing the business.
Gotcha.
Because I think a lot of times people try to pretend like they don't understand what this shit is like. But this is an example. This is an example of what the LAPD do. And if you have a business or any other city in the country and you have a business where the official police department don't want you doing business, this is the kind of stuff that they do. And if it wasn't for the fact that there's a person sitting here with the camera recording it, nobody would believe it. Nobody would believe it. Let's let this rock. This is some bullshit.
Just don't want black people pulled over for nothing. That's all. You don't appear to be black, so you'll be getting stopped.
After seeing the videos of what looks like racial profiling outside of Marathon Burger, I decided to go to Melrose and see for myself what is going on. And my God, was it worse than I thought. It wasn't just LAPD circling the block, lurking in the alleys, but they had multiple people, all black, out of their cars and in handcuffs. And for what? One of the vehicles had no front license plate. And after searching the entire car and detaining both the driver and the passenger, they were released with nothing more than a plate violation. I was just filming peacefully under my First Amendment right. And that's when Officer Daniel McClement approached me and said something that felt like a threat.
No, we'll stop you right now when you drive away on your e-bike.
Why would I get stopped?
Because it's not legal for the road. So we'll stop you here in a minute too.
There's no law against riding an e-bike on the street. And this comment was clearly meant to intimidate me. I'll be filing a complaint.
I wonder why they're stopping everyone black on this street in this couple blocks here. It's a good question, right? No, we'll stop you right now when you drive away on your e-bike.
Why would I get stopped?
Because it's not legal for the road. So we'll stop you here in a minute. I can't walk it? Walk it. Okay. So you can't ride an e-bike in LA?
Broken Blade. Does this not look like some freaking like 1940s, 50s type shit?
Absolutely.
All right. And none of these guys, I watched this through already. None of these guys ended up getting arrested. None of them. They didn't arrest a single person. They're just harassing. They're just harassing. Now, I'm glad that none of these brothers gave them an excuse to do anything, because they would have absolutely loved to do it. And see, here's the thing, too. Even look how they're standing. They're standing, but they're pointing their cameras away from the people that they're arresting or that they're harassing, right? So they're not even, so they got these guys face against the freaking wall. They're in cuffs. And then the body cameras, they're pointing them out towards the street. Like, they know what they're doing. This is not an accident. Like, they know exactly what they're doing. But you can't even call this kind of stuff out. Let's let this rock.
No, that's not legal for the road.
I bet that black dude's like, I don't know whether to thank this guy or tell him to get the hell out the way because I'm going to have to deal with this dude here in a second. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't rile this dude up. Like, hurry. If he just hurries up and let him get this stuff off, he'll take these cuffs off of you. I can go about my business. But you're standing over there antagonizing this guy, and I'm the one in cuffs. It's like, so I imagine he's probably like, I'm glad this guy has a camera, and I'm glad he's like, squaring up to the cops, but he's going to take that mess out on me.
Just don't want black people pulled over for nothing. That's all.
You don't appear
Can
to
I get your
be
name and
black.
badge number? McClubbin? 25085. Thank you. What division are you guys? Wilshire?
Wilshire are the freaking head knockers, by the way.
That's what patrols, Melrose, and...
You seem to know a lot about who we're stopping, but not a lot about who we are.
Broken Blade. Never mind. I did not get myself kicked off the internet.
But it did not stop there. As I walked away from that stop, I saw another traffic stop. Again, 2 black men in handcuffs. What was their offense? Waiting in the car in the red zone while their friend got a haircut. That turned into another search, another detainment. And once again, they were let go with just a ticket. I asked their supervising officer about the e-bike claim, and he confirmed it is not illegal to ride.
By the way, that's a Maybach. They're sitting in a $250,000 car, but I digress.
An e-bike on the street.
You're not allowed to ride an e-bike in the city? You know the officer that's got no lights on? Like the white dude, he's got some tats. He's just drove by. No, you don't know what I'm talking about? He said I couldn't ride this in the city. In the city? He said if I ride it here, he's going to pull me over and stop me.
So my question is to city council, to the mayor, and to the LAPD chief. Why are black people being handcuffed, searched, and threatened over minor infractions outside Marathon Burger?
$60. $60. I'll take a robbery report.
Oh, now they're funny guys.
Broken Blade. I understand it looks like a moment of levity there where they're all just kind of having a good old yuck, yuck, yuck. But I see that as a freaking problem. I have a bad attitude when it comes to police. I do. I'll tell you. I have a bad attitude. I do not like them. I let it be known, and I avoid them at all costs. I do not speak to them. I do not engage because I have a short fuse and a bad fucking attitude. I hate cops. I hate cops. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, but I do not like police officers. I think they're all corrupt. Because the ones that, if you're not snitching out other cops, you're corrupt too. In my opinion.
Guilty by omission.
Absolutely. By association. Guilt by association. Absolutely. Because they all know that they know who the dirty ones are, right? Like, even though this guy was probably the last cop that was talking, that probably was a pretty decent, pretty nice guy, pretty decent, whatever. You could tell that the other guy, the first cop that they were talking about, is all the way biffed out. Like, right. He was an asshole. I know that guy. I don't know him personally, but I know cops just like him. Right.
Got the woodpecker tattoo on.
Absolutely. But see, this guy won't snitch on him. This guy won't tell on him. Like, this guy won't pull him aside and be like, hey man, like you're heavy handed, or why are you roughing up people like that? He'll never call him out. And that's my problem. It's like, sure, I'm a good cop, or I'm not one of those whatevers. And they always say, oh, well, there's a bad apple, blah, 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 blah. Bad apple, right? But then what do I always say? They never finish the freaking phrase. It said a bad apple will spoil the bunch. It spoils the bunch. People don't want to, they always try to forget that part. No, one bad apple can and will spoil everybody. So you got to get him up out of there. But they don't. Even Officer Hoyt and Trading Day didn't turn in Dre for the murder. Yeah, man. They sure didn't. Nah, man. They don't snitch. They don't turn each other in. They don't do it.
Now he's a funny guy. These guys are still in handcuffs and we're cracking jokes. This shit ain't funny.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, bro. And so check this out. Like, see how comfortable they are in cuffs? Like that steel should burn your wrists. Like you being faced up against the wall, being humiliated in front of all of society should send you through the roof. Like you should want to be breaking and is that you or me?
No, I think that was me.
You should be wanting to break everything. Like what's the deal with that? You know what I mean? Like that's how conditioned we are. I would be like a fucking caged animal, right? Like this steam would be coming off of my ears. I would be doing any and everything I can. To keep my mouth shut so I don't get myself into more trouble. I would be struggling with that. I would have to sit down and I would be in cuffs staring at that wall, have an internal conversation with myself, just knowing that, Alvin, you just got to make it through this shit and we'll deal with it on the other side. The thing that you're thinking about doing is not going to work. Don't do it. I would absolutely be having to have a very personal conversation with myself. If I were in that situation, I would not be cracking any jokes. I would not be smiling. I would be mad dogging everybody. I would try to be telepathically telling that cop that if you drop that gun and badge, I will beat your ass right here on this sidewalk. Bro, there's been a couple of times where I was like, man, I wish this motherfucker could read my thoughts. Ooh, if he could read my thoughts, he would put his gun and badge down and we could get busy right now. I do not like, I don't like that, bro.
For real. He's still in handcuffs. He thinks it's funny? Shit is not funny. If they're in handcuffs and not upset, that's sad. Yeah, because they're in handcuffs. Have you ever been in handcuffs? What? Because you were in trouble? It doesn't feel good to complain when your hands are behind your back and you guys got guns. You guys killed people multiple times. You guys killed a 14-year-old girl. Your LAPD officer did, William Dorsey Jones. You guys kill people all the time.
Doesn't matter, he said.
Shit isn't funny. They're in handcuffs. Not funny. Take them out of handcuffs and then we'll laugh at your jokes. Take them out of handcuffs, we'll laugh at your jokes. What? Because it's wrong. Why are they in handcuffs? You guys still a threat? They're still worried about your safety with 3 cops with guns? Still worried about your safety. They got to be in handcuffs because why? They were in the red. I've gotten parking tickets, usually not searched and put in handcuffs.
Our law enforcement agencies in Southern.
And from my standpoint, as a Black American, as far as I'm concerned, it is a high-tech lynching for uppity Blacks.
Bro, they don't care. Like, and that's normal down there. That's normal.
Just the imagery of the black man in cuffs. Image warfare is absolutely a part of this.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, man, I do not like it. I do not like it. I am the trouble slave. Okay. Just to let any and everybody know, I'm the trouble slave. I'm the one that's going to organize the mutiny. I'm going to jump off the ship. I'm going to run away. I'm going to attack Massa. I am going to be a fucking problem. Just so you know, it's not in my soul to be okay with any of that bullshit. It's not. I am a problem. Up and down the whole situation. And like stuff like this, man, it's like, yo, people try to pretend like it's like, oh, well, you should have just complied. These guys are bullies. And they're trying to intimidate the population. And they pretty much ran all the black folks out of Los Angeles. There's not very many black folks left in Los Angeles.
Southern California, targeting Marathon Burger, targeting the people that come to support a Black-owned business. Is this surveillance? Is this harassment? Is this retaliation? This looks like stop and frisk 2.0, and it's unconstitutional. You need reasonable suspicion, not just a burger and fries. And if you ever get stopped like this, know your rights. Stay calm. Film the police. That is your First Amendment right. refuse any and all searches. That is your Fourth Amendment right. And remain silent. Say, I remain silent until my attorney is present. That is your Fifth Amendment right. I'm calling on all First Amendment auditors to pull up to Marathon Burger. We need all hands on deck filming and documenting this blatant harassment. Have you seen this happening outside Marathon Burger? Send us a DM.
Bro, look at this.
Submit your video to mrcheckpoint.com/submit. We are watching.
Yeah, I gotta stay inside. It's best I stay inside. I don't do well in those kind of situations. Yo, just getting a burger, bro? Just trying to go get a burger? I'm just trying to go get a burger, and this is the kind of stuff I got to deal with?
Oh, first blood.
Yeah.
For anybody who wants to know what it's like being a black man in America, watch First Blood.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Girl trying to walk through town, ends up going to war with everybody.
Everybody, just because. Like, just because it was like they didn't even have anything else. It was like they didn't even know why they were being the way they were. I mean, they did, but like just being difficult for the sake of being difficult, just trying to bully. Trying to tell you.
Further evidence is like my suspicions about the real purpose of the Vietnam War.
Oh, to eradicate us. It was multiple. It was like, go send us into a dummy mission.
Pump us full of drugs.
Yeah. You know,
because they could war for years we would not celebrate in America.
Bro, that's another thing. I still don't. Yeah, I still don't. I mean, for God's sakes, I take a knee during the national anthem still. So it is what it is. Yeah, we need more people. We need more monitors.
We're documenting and we're not staying silent. Shout out to Black Salmon, everyone keeping the marathon going. Support local, support Black owned, always film the police, always for the people. I'm Mr. Checkpoint, and comment Marathon Burger.
Bro, look at this, dog. Yo, where's the NAACP?
California, what's her name? Maxine Waters.
Yo, you're trash. Yo, Black Congressional Black Caucus, NAACP, like you're garbage. Literally garbage. Like this kind of stuff should not be happening. Yeah, quiet. What you do from Chicago was talking about Happy Africa Day the other day. The week, a couple of days before Memorial, the mayor of Chicago. Cheesing for the camera, talking about Happy Africa Day. Like, what the fuck? What is going on? They got y'all so mixed up that y'all can't even fly your own flag in your own country. You know what I'm saying? Like the politics got y'all so messed up that you cannot fly your own flag in your own country. That's weird.
Yeah.
Like that is strange. Like it really is. I don't know, man. Something needs to be done about this bullshit. Bro, we just looked at like 4 or 5 different groups of Black men cuffed and face to a wall. It's just standing there. Just being humiliated. You don't really, bro, this does lasting damage. It does lasting psychological damage. I mean, it's not like you're going to go jump off a bridge or anything, but like there's going to be a moment at the end of this day, for the next couple of days, for the next couple of weeks, for the next couple of months, where these guys are going to sit and they're going to stare into a corner, or they're going to stare up at the ceiling, and they're going to think about this moment. And it's not going to be a happy, like warm and fuzzy feeling. right? Like, I would imagine 1 in 10 of them is going to go find one of these guys and get some get back. I mean, until that starts happening, I don't see how this stops, because the law is not going to do anything for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the law is not going to do anything to help us at this point. You know, even Pride flag is about to be prominent starting as, yeah, of course. Every flag representing every single person except for foundational Black Americans. And you know what? What do you think about I hate to even ask this question because I have a particular opinion about it, but what do you think about these people that are trying to bring up these like additional flags, like these, you know, African flags or a foundational Black American flag or whatever? Like, do you think that's a good idea?
I got to quote George Carlin on that. All those things are symbols. I leave symbols for the simple-minded.
I like that.
All these, like, what do you think you're doing with that? Like, what? Oh, representation for what purpose?
Yeah.
Just to be seen, just to take up space.
Yeah. I mean, okay,
that's
so
more important than tangibles, actual policy to help us.
I imagine, Broken Blade, I imagine that a lot of people I believe a lot of people are misinformed about how things really work. Like, so everyone keeps trying to put, say that, okay, so ADOS, right? ADOS is Tone Talks and Michelle something or other, I believe, are the founders of ADOS, no. American Descendants of Slaves, yeah. Which I like that, as in like it's descriptive. However, they're kind of stingy about it, and they keep wanting to claim ownership of being the one that started it. And there's been like fights about it, and it's like a club kind of, right? And in my opinion, I think that that's what's dangerous, because you're claiming to be the leader of something. What happens with the leaders of something? They get assassinated.
The leaders of Black Americans, they don't seem to last long.
They don't live very long. No, they don't live very long. They get assassinated. They don't live very long. Right. So if you were to start an organization as a group of Black folks, you should learn the lesson of the past and say, every time we dedicate or we like say, okay, this is the leader, and then he goes and gets assassinated. So maybe even if we do have some sort of a leader, it shouldn't be clear to everybody whom that might be. I think that's one thing. The best part about foundational Black Americans is that it's just the lineage. It's lineage. Yeah. You can't kill you. It's part of it's in our blood. It's part of who we are. British, Japanese, Chinese, in the same bucket. And everyone's trying to make Tariq Nasheed the leader. And he's like, no. No, I'm not no leader. He'll back off that real quick. I am not your leader. I am not a leader. Don't put me in there. I just help push the cause. That's it. I just explain what's going on. That's it. Because we've realized now, so if you keep going out and trying to make yourself a leader or trying to organize without understanding what kind of danger you're putting yourself in, or what kind of danger you're putting someone else in, you shouldn't do it.
Absolutely not.
Right? Like, we got to start learning from these mistakes.
No, so that's myopic. Like, it's hurting the cause. Like, who started it? Who cares?
Yeah, facts. Like, it absolutely. Who cares? I agree. Like,
Uncle D said, like, who gives a damn? Like, who gets the yardage as long as they're making the yards?
Yeah.
As long as they're making the push, like,
yeah, I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. I don't like to lose. I hate losing. So speaking of now Broken Blade, I have to say, God is looking down on me right now, because what he did was he sent me the perfect example to juxtapose the clip that we just watched. And not only did he send me these videos and these images to juxtapose the images we were seeing just a second ago, but they're in the same city. So we get to see how the police treat different groups of people in the same city under not so similar circumstances. Some might say that what we're about to watch is violent. Some might say that what we're about to watch is a riot and that there's property damage. However, the Los Angeles Police Department has slightly different energy. And I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken. I could be mistaken. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But let's just see what this looks like real quick. Let's just see. And maybe I could be off. I could be off. Let's see.
Roughly 50 people vandalized property, including Metro trains, early yesterday morning. LAPD officers were lined up in riot gear, fired rubber bullets after multiple warnings to clear this area. No one was hurt, but several businesses and Metro trains were damaged. There were no arrests. And the mayor says she is speaking with the LAPD chief this afternoon to discuss what's being done to identify and arrest those responsible. Roughly 50 people vandalized property, including Metro trains, early yesterday morning. LAPD officers were lined up in riot gear, fired rubber bullets after multiple warnings to clear this area. No one was hurt, but several businesses and Metro trains were damaged. There were no arrests. And the mayor says she is speaking with the LAPD chief this afternoon to discuss what's being done to identify and arrest those responsible.
all that, but brothers can't just grab a burger and get a haircut.
Do we? You know what, Broken Blade? I got more. I got
trains
more.
and police.
I got more.
Is what was captured on video over the weekend. People targeting stores, Metro trains, and police cars with graffiti and vandalism is just the latest act of chaos that's been going on for months. He says about 15 to 20 underground parties happen every weekend, with police and businesses struggling to keep track.
We have underage drinking. We have violence coming out of these. There's nothing positive that comes out of this.
The LAPD says more than 1,000 people spilled onto the streets after an underground party Saturday night. About 50 of them vandalizing and blocking two Metro Line A trains at the corner of Washington and Maple. The police response was met with more vandalism and someone throwing a firework at a patrol unit. The LAPD says one officer required medical attention after getting hit with a bottle.
I want to know how many of the individuals were identified. I want to know who will be arrested and when.
No one was arrested.
But again, we're the problem. Forget the burger and the haircut. But what, throwing bottles?
Tagging the actual police cars, bro. Throwing bottles at the actual cops. Kicking police cars while the cops are in them.
But we the problem.
But we the problem, though. We the problem.
You know what? Silver lining in this.
We can see it.
One, yeah. See, two. I think you're onto something. Their own racism is going to be their downfall. It's human nature. You let them stop, and they're going to start pushing more.
Absolutely.
More and more.
Absolutely. Because they don't even think they should get. Like, did those people look scared to you? Did them kids look scared to you? They didn't look scared to me. They looked like they were having a good old time. Like they never expected for the cops to actually do anything. I mean, look how tagged up this place is. Kidney care, the trains, the buses, the all that stuff got all tagged up.
Arrested at the scene, but LA Mayor Karen Bass says the LAPD and District Attorney's Office will be looking at the videos to find those
tagged up all the streets
responsible. Rodriguez says the city needs to go a step further and
tagging up the trains,
hold responsible those who are allowing the underground parties to happen.
Not one party promoter, not any person granting access to a space to be used has been held accountable for these parties.
Bro, there's not a black nothing of open in Los Angeles. That was a burger joint they were hassling people in front of, doing regular business during regular business hours, doing regular business things. But they somehow, they can allow
LA
this
really
part.
wants to revitalize downtown LA and bring it back to what it was before the pandemic. This needs to be addressed.
Rodriguez compares the parties to the street takeovers that have been happening throughout Southern California. Reporting live from downtown Los Angeles, Ted Chen, NBC4 News. Colleen, Annabelle.
Trying to compare them to street takeovers? Oh, is that when the black people do stuff? They call it street takeover, but when it's these guys, they call it something else. Is that? Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Broken Blade. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Rodriguez compares the parties to the street takeovers that have been happening throughout Southern California. Reporting live from downtown Los Angeles, Ted Chen, NBC4 News.
Street takeovers. Interesting. Words mean things, guys.
Absolutely.
Because they use this stuff. They use these words to justify their behavior. So, if that's how it becomes a riot really quickly, right? Like all of a sudden now you're obstructing justice, or you're loitering, or you're whatever, right? These words matter. Huh. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Real quick, shout out to Black Cowboys because yeah. I don't know if y'all ever been to a rodeo before, but I've definitely have never been to a rodeo with all black cowboys and then everyone in the stands was black too. Shout out to the Black Cowboys holding it down for the foundational Black Americans. Like, that's some different shit. Shout out to them. I don't know if you can ride a horse, Broken Blade. I can ride one, not like this though. These brothers is right. Like they are sliding, dog. These fools are look. Bro, in his overalls. That's what I'm talking about. God damn it. Bro, we got it. This is what we're supposed to be doing, Broken Blade. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is the energy I think we need to be on as people. This is us. Right? There's no shenanigans going on. You know, it's just our version of this is us. This is closer to us than all this other city shit. This is us. We need to get back to this. We need to push and promote this. There needs to be more of this. We don't have to do the country music, but in the butt. In the butt. In the butt. Yeah. Shout out to Solo Dolo, my brother from another mother. Peeping it, watching from the clouds. Salute to you, bro. Thank you so much for coming through and dropping 5 on it. I really, truly appreciate it. For real. Like I said, man, just trying to get my YouTube legs back. But thank you so much, bro. Really, truly appreciate it. And that's what's up. Shout out to Solo Dolo. You put something in the back chat. What's that?
Oh, there's a link of what's her name, Lindy Lee, about basically criticizing the Biden administration, how she, basically she doesn't quite believe the cancer diagnosis.
Oh, she thinks he's looking for sympathy.
Yeah, that's exactly what she says. Yeah.
Dirty rascal. Like Trump's not gonna. He's got stage 4 nut cancer, prostate cancer. Trump's not gonna send him to prison.
Like low key, man. Like right from his wife, bro. Like you out of there, bro.
Yeah. I'm absolutely gonna take you out. Yeah, if it was up to me, your last days would be spent behind bars after everything they tried to do to that man. And I wouldn't feel bad about it either. I'm like, oh, you asked for this. You could have just let me be. You could have let me be. I would have been gone. I wouldn't have come back for another term. I was done. Y'all sent all the attorneys and everybody after me, kept me relevant. My people started to see it. Now look what you got. See, you overplayed your hand. Shout out to these brothers right here. American heroes.
And man, like I've been saying for a while, I do believe some good casino stuff. No, Goodfellas, yeah. Goodfellas stuff been going down.
Yeah.
Got no weird problems with airplanes.
Yeah.
The curious helicopter accident.
Yeah, very curious. Very curious. When the whole damn propeller and transmission fell off. I'm like, yo, man, and it was a black pilot in there too, brother. Oh my God. I'm like, this poor man, you know, he didn't deserve that. Somebody set him up. I don't really South Africa, I don't really care much. Oh yeah, here we go. Last but not least, we'll just cover this real quick. So Broken Blade. Still got little boys running around trying to compete with little girls. Still.
Cody.
Yo, man, a dude participating in a sport against a bunch of chicks is a bitch. I'm sorry, dog. Forget you and your confusion. Like the sound of his foot hitting the box don't even sound like it sounds like when the girls hit it.
Oh my God.
Absolutely wrong. You're a straight up coward.
Straight up coward.
Leah Thomas, the swimmer, mediocre record among men, dominance among women.
If I was a girl, I'd be pissed. If I was a girl, I'd be so mad. And this fool was all taped up like he got injured or some shit.
Is that even registering as you're competing?
Honestly, no. I'm still a child. You're an adult, and for you to act like a child shows how you are as a person. There's nothing I can do about people's actions. Just focus on my own.
On Saturday, other competitors beat Hernandez in 2 of her 3 events. She won first place in triple jump. She is not currently ranked nationally, and she has been outperformed by over 2 meters in her jumps by girls competing in states that have banned gender-affirming care.
All I thought was, I don't think you understand that this puts your idiotic claims to trash. Now
No, it doesn't. You're just not good. Like, you're just not good. You're not good for a guy or a girl. You're just not good. You shouldn't be able to compete though against women.
Exactly.
Against girls. Like, it doesn't prove just because you're not beating every single girl all the time, you won't, but the next guy will. You won't, but the next guy will.
Yeah,
and like
this streams mediocrity, like either physically or mentally, that you're not willing to push yourself.
Absolutely. And this little boy got all this dismissive energy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can't tell. Whatever another adult, like, entitlement already, huh?
Have no proof that I can't be beat.
I think that's some hoe shit. I'm sorry. I don't know. Luckily, Broken Blade. Luckily, our channel is small, so we can get some of this shit off. This is some hoe shit. I don't like this at all. I don't like this because the only people that would be that are okay with this have never competed in anything ever. Like, you've never physically competed with another human being ever. If you're fighting for this, like, you can't, because you inherently know that there is a obvious difference. Even if they're the same size, there is a clear difference between girls and boys. Period. You can put some nails on, you can let your hair get long, you can put on the makeup, you can even do a little bit of like gene therapy, but you're still a dude, bro. You're still a dude. And honestly, I don't respect it until you get the whole business. You get everything cut off and you get a fake hoo-ha put in there. Until then, you're on some bullshit. In my opinion. In my opinion, you're a quitter and a half-assed. You're half-assing it. Okay? Hot dogging it, but not hot dogging it. I don't know how you would not hot dog
is a thing, so I do rather agree with that.
Yeah. If you're gonna go all the way, bitch.
That transition just for an easier time in society of like,
there's
some bullshit going on, but like, come on, man.
Yeah, you got to do the whole thing, bro. Get it, lop it off. Have them put the fake one in. Then I'll respect it. But I still don't want you competing against other girls.
Yeah.
But at least then I'll respect it. I'll be like, all right, well, he's serious about his.
Yeah.
That's when I might call you a she. But unless you get your twig and berries chopped off and all that other stuff, not buying it. Not buying it. Not buying it. I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. We're all dudes.
Who's that? Good Burger.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's
That's
a dude.
what it is. Okay. I I have to find that clip. I'll have to find that clip. Shout out to Slim Shady for that. Thank you. I'm gonna have to find that clip. Cause I was like, wait a minute, what is that from? Yeah, man. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. It's like you've never played sports. Like you've never played sports. And the crazy part about it, Broken Blade, it's so logical, meaning like every single world record when it comes to like speed, the man's time is faster than the woman's. Not only on land, but in the water. Every throwing event, men not only have heavier devices, like the shot put is heavier, the discus is bigger and heavier, the hammer is bigger and heavier, but men still throw further than the women. Like, what are we, you know what I mean? Like, what are we even talking about? Like, even in diving, there are tricks that the women can't do because they're not strong enough to. But let's be honest, there's some stuff that the men can't do, like the split, a bunch of stuff too. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to strength and speed, a man is going to be bigger and stronger. But by you putting a man competing with women is fundamentally flawed. Eventually, there will be no more women's records by women, and there will be a men's record and then a trans record.
Pretty much.
It's only a matter of time.
And this was like really new, some BS with forgot what sport tried to open up like a specific like trans league. Try to beat them halfway, they refuse to compete. Okay, no, you just want to punch down there.
Exactly. Because there's a chance that you might butt up against somebody that's just as tough as you on that other side, and you might actually have to play hard, right? Now, the WNBA, that might be entertaining. Not only to do the trans, let them in, but then like hard fouls too. Got to let hard fouls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to change the foul rules and you got to allow hard fouls. Then that shit might be entertaining. And drop the goal. Like, drop the goal like 9 feet. So at least some of the girls can get up and bang on each other. And then you get some dudes in there. Yeah. That'd be entertaining. Somebody trans, like nuts in your mouth. Bam. got a long hair, like boom. Posterizing people. Now that might be entertaining, Broken Blade. You know what I'm saying? All trans league.
No, be the one that really fucked the game up for everybody. There was some holiday hard looking bro. They ran through the wig on.
Yes.
Just being a fucking menace.
Yes. That would be entertaining. I might write like Kimbo Slice. You know what I'm saying? Kimbo Slice in the WNBA would be hilarious. God rest his dead. I think he has passed. Yeah, shout out to Kimbo Slice. I don't, but God rest his dead. Rest in peace. But that would be entertaining. The WNBA would make their money back if they did that. That would be entertaining. I would watch that. Seeing a Kimbo Slice with the wig on, dunking on a 9-foot goal. Yeah. I might chime in for that. I probably wouldn't pay any money to go, but I would like chime in if it was like on ESPN or something. I would watch it, for sure. Anyway, remember the volleyball? We'll try to still spy your. Oh yeah, she did blast that girl in the face. Damn, brain damage. She probably wasn't that smart. That wasn't that sharp anyways. R.I.P. Kimbo Slice for, where you go. R.I.P. Kimbo Slice for real. Broken Blade anyways, man, before we get up out of here, you got anything you want to leave us with? I know we kind of covered a few things. We covered the lies of the mainstream media. Shout out to Ray J for stepping up and at least being a voice for Diddy, or at least against the shenanigans.
Absolutely.
And then of course, obviously, Los Angeles is Los Angeles. But anyways, I'll leave you to it. Anything you want to say, bro?
Well, as you said, we covered the story about a supposedly journalist covering for a mentally incompetent president. The country that shame people into taking the vaccine that altered DNA. It was not experimented with properly, tested properly. There's a connection between said vaccine and multiple deaths that the mainstream media won't talk about. You have Diddy and Kanye West, two FBA men that lived pretty decent lives until they sought their own autonomy. Ye's now called crazy. Diddy's made out to be the deviant, though he never forced anybody into any of these acts. And then when the kids involved.
Sorry, go ahead.
And yet they, all of this shame, but yet he's still real quiet about that Epstein list.
Very quiet.
Just integrity be damned. It means nothing nowadays. The news has become propaganda. There's clear bias to the rest of incarceration practices in this country. Time and again, robbing us blind, and we have the receipts for each and every occurrence, at least most of them.
Facts.
And want to act like we're making this shit up. This country is playing in our faces. This country is an out and out hustle. I suggest we start moving accordingly.
Yeah.
Find your hustle, make your money, get the hell out of here. I'll land my plane there.
Amen to that. Amen to that, man. Shout out to Cody Marshall. Prentice I, salute. Some Shaby, thank you so much for coming through, bro. It's been a long time. Solo Dolo, salute, man. So glad you got a chance to pop in for a split second. Thank you so much. He is the official sponsor of the broadcast. And who else came? I know Braxton popped in for a split second, so salute to him. What's up, Braxton? Salute. Yeah, man. Hugh Hefner under the radar. Epstein under the radar. Yeah. Clearly, if you got look, I'll say it like this. If you guys didn't know already, the criminal system is not made for anybody else. It's just made for us. It's not made for women. It's not made for white folks. It's not made for Indians, Hispanics, Asians, whatever. People don't feel good unless it's a black person in cuffs. They don't feel right. It's weird. They don't understand what to do. Like, it's so crazy. Like, it's insane, bro. You finally get these cops doing what they've been doing to us for 150 freaking years. And all of a sudden everybody's clutching their pearls and like, oh my God, they're just rounding us up and they're like and they're beating us and they're like putting us in cuffs and they're how do you think they practice? Like, who do you think they practiced on? Right. And don't you think it's weird that they just all of a sudden like bang and all of a sudden they know they got the rubber bullets and they got the tasers and the this and the that and the spit masks and they got the whole system. They got it down. You know why? Because they've been practicing on us. And we've been saying it this whole time, but nobody wanted to freaking listen. Nobody wanted to listen. And now that thing is pointed directly at y'all, now we got a problem. Now there's a problem. Nah, man, you got to hold your nuts on this one. You got to hold your nuts on this one. And again, what is that quote? If you're a black political official, if you're a black official and you haven't been stomping for black people, like, I mean, full blown stomping for black people, the way that these people are, I don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. We do not want to hear it. Yo. And yeah, I'm not even just to put this stuff into perspective, just to put this kind of stuff into perspective. This wasn't that long ago, y'all. This was not that long ago. And we got to try to pretend like these people ain't walking around amongst us anymore. Is that what you're trying to tell me? You're trying to tell me that all these people right here that are hanging right now, that are watching this hanging right here, that are all gathered up shoulder to shoulder, wearing their Sunday's best, that you're telling me that they're not having the same feelings now that they had then, that they didn't communicate this message to their children and their grandchildren and their great grandchildren? Is that what you're telling me? I'm calling bullshit. And I bet not look in there and see no black faces either. And I think I kind of do. Yeah, man, I'm not into that. So to all the immigrants, you're going to have to hold your own nuts on this one. We tried to tell y'all. And this isn't a Trump thing. This is a white supremacy thing. This isn't a Trump thing. This is a white supremacy thing. Like, this is an absolute white supremacy thing. And I don't use that word or those words. Oh, Broken Blade, you're going to love this. Hold on, Broken Blade. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt my rant, but I know you're going to appreciate this. Hold on. Let me move us real quick. No, I'll leave it right there. Broken Blade. This one's for you. I know you're going to appreciate this.
Oh my God.
With the Shawn Michaels sweet chin music.
Oh my God.
Fuck around.
Find
out. Fuck around, meet, find out. Boy, that was a textbook sidekick. That brother was trained. You could just tell by the way he stands.
Yeah.
Like, yo, if a brother's standing like that, like this, all tall like that. And look, and he was announcing that he was like letting y'all know. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show y'all something, because this fool has clearly gotten, you know.
Oh my God.
Yikes. Yikes. Sometimes some people gotta learn. Some people gotta learn. Yeah. And fuck around means find out. Absolutely. So anyways, man. Hey, check out look, if you guys look at my Twitter, bro. I got a lot of, I don't really push. Oh, look at this. Northern California, working in a home. This is a white people's house.
Wow.
That's crazy. Bro, oh my God. Bruh. What the fuck is that? Oh, wow.
Just in case anybody needed to know. Just in case. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I usually like to end on a good note, but
Is that the solo?
What is that?
Obsessed.
I'm realizing more and more, bro. I'm realizing more and more. I thought that I was exaggerating for a minute, and I was being rambunctious with it, but I'm realizing more and more that they need it. So, anyways,
I
salute
don't
you guys.
think it's possible though to exaggerate.
No, we'll catch you guys on the next one. We out.